Well guys, as we expected, ITV defended their political stunt on Britain's Got Talent, despite of course 25,000 people complaining about it. And Ofcom even backed them up yesterday by saying they will not investigate these 25,000 complaints. Not only that, but despite me never interacting with them, Ofcom went out of their way to block me on Twitter before they released a statement on this situation. Public grants help fund this low-life organisation, yet they are allowed to block British citizens for no good reason. I guess paying for what they do does not mean we can actually see what they are doing. Or maybe they just knew I would tear them apart for their ridiculous statement they have released in relation to this, which proves to me they refuse to investigate these complaints just to be woke. There is no other reason that is feasible in my opinion. I mean, the number of complaints warrants at least an investigation, though to be honest we know they would just give us some cop-out nonsense like this if they actually did one. But I would place money on it right now if there was a dance performed by a group to support an opposing viewpoint that wasn't even half as divisive as this one, Ofcom would investigate and the media would be in absolute shit fits trying to cancel that person's entire life and likely get them arrested. Maybe a dance group should go on BGT and throw out a secretly rehearsed All Lives Matter dance just to expose the hypocrisy of ITV, Ofcom and the rest of them when the inevitable outrage swiftly follows. That in my opinion is how you expose these snivelling shitweasels to the viewers less involved on the internet, who might then start joining the boycotts to really hit ITV where it hurts. Now, the BBC picked up on Ofcom's BLM cuckoldry, so let's take a quick look at that and some of what Ofcom actually said. The summary is enough to show the mental gymnastics they went through to ignore these complaints, so there is no need to read out their full statement. But I will link it for anyone who wants to go through it in their own time later. The BBC's article headlines: Britain's Got Talent, Ofcom will not investigate diversity performance. The dance troupe's BLM routine on 5th of September received about 24,500 complaints, but the organisation concluded the programme did not raise issues which warranted investigation under its broadcasting rules. Its central message was a call for social cohesion and unity, it noted. The whole premise of the BLM movement is not about social cohesion and unity, let me tell you that. Sasha I Want White Slaves Johnson has proved that many times over. Diversity's routine included a white performer kneeling on Banjo's neck, a reference to a load of shit that we don't care about. It also featured themes about the coronavirus pandemic, poverty and capitalism. Because obviously, as you will see in a moment, like Ofcom said, it doesn't have a political bias, which is clearly a load of shit. Critics complained that ITV's primetime Saturday night entertainment show was an inappropriate platform for a political statement, which obviously it is. It would be just as inappropriate, like I said before, for the Tory party or Labour Party to be on there pushing political messages during an entertainment show designed for families that is not related to politics. This is exactly the same thing, no matter how hard Ofcom tries to say it isn't. An Ofcom spokeswoman said, "We carefully considered a large number of complaints about this artistic routine, an area where freedom of expression is particularly important." Well, I hope you feel that way if someone in future decides to do a counter dance to this one. I am guaranteeing that they won't. It continues, Diversity's performance referred to challenging and potentially controversial subjects, and in our view, its central message was a call for social cohesion and unity, which, as I've already said, it's fucking not. The BLM movement is definitely not about that, let me tell you. Any depictions of violence by the performers were highly stylized and symbolic of recent global events. So, if they're symbolic of recent global events, that makes it okay to show it to children. Are you having a fucking laugh? I guess Ofcom would be the first to defend Netflix's new show, saying it would be symbolic of recent events or some crazy bullshit like that, as we have just seen with this. They go on, and there was no explicit reference to any particular political organisation, but rather a message that the lives of black people matter, she added. Which, once again, I have to call a bunch of bullshit on and shows the pure mental gymnastics that they are going through to come to these conclusions. They admitted earlier that this was a BLM-inspired dance. Well, guess what? The BLM movement have created their own political party. It was created by Sasha I Want White Slaves Johnson and is called the Taking the Initiative Party, so don't give me that it's not supporting a political organisation, because we know it is. Diversity star and BGT judge Ashley Banjo responded to Ofcom's decision on Instagram saying creativity is always a leap of faith. All I did was what felt right, and I'd do it 100 times over, sending love to everybody that stood by us. Which I've got to say is a lot better than his previous statements where he's come out attacking people who don't agree with him. Maybe he is learning a lesson there. But to be honest, the problem is not with diversity or Ashley Banjo himself. Yeah, they're a bunch of fucking idiots for doing it at the end of the day, but ITV and Britain's Got Talent are the ones who really should be held responsible for this. They allowed it to happen. At the end of the day, ITV has oversight over what goes on their TV shows, and the Britain's Got Talent producers allowed it to happen, I expect knowing there would be outrage. It just goes on to talk about how they reckon negativity is the minority, and he received hundreds of thousands of messages of support. Yeah, good for him. That doesn't mean negativity is the minority, and no one is actually being negative. They are just pointing out that this bullshit doesn't belong on a family entertainment show. That is it. Keep politics in politics, leave entertainment, sport and the rest of it alone. People go to watch them to relax and kick back, not to listen to this political bollocks. Now, am I surprised that Ofcom failed to investigate this and ITV defended it? Of course I'm not. I ain't stupid. I knew they were never going to do it anyway. And once again, Ofcom have shown themselves to be completely useless. And in this case, a bunch of low-life snivelling shitweasels. I actually can't believe they blocked me on Twitter, the salty wankers.
There is a pattern consistent throughout history of oppressed people turning on the oppressors. Slaves against their owners, the peasantry against the feudal barons, colonies, Mr. Verhofstadt, against their empires. And that is why Britain is leaving. And it doesn't matter which language you use, we are going and we are glad to be going. We're off.